You smile, you work, you scroll. But deep down something feels wrong, like your soul quietly packed its bags and left. This isn't just stress, it's a silent scream from the part of you you've forgotten. If life feels hollow, this video will show you why, and how to wake up. Chapter 1. The Silent Drift. Losing touch, without realizing. You didn't wake up one morning and feel like a stranger in your own life. It happened slowly, quietly, like fog rolling in while you were busy doing everything you were supposed to do. You followed the rules. You kept up appearances. You chased goals. But somewhere along the way something slipped. Maybe you felt it in the mornings. That strange emptiness when you open your eyes and realize you're not excited about anything. Or in conversations when you laugh at the right moments but feel like you're watching yourself from a distance. You're not broken. You're just disconnected. This drift begins with small compromises. You say yes when you mean no. You stay quiet when something inside you wants to scream. You choose what's safe, what's expected, what won't rock the boat. And each time a piece of you folds inward, not gone, just buried. You start living on autopilot, wake, work, scroll, sleep, repeat, days blur. You forget what used to light you up. You forget what you even want. And the scariest part? You don't notice it happening. You just feel off. Like your life is happening around you, not through you. You smile. You function. You do what's needed. But inside there's a quiet ache. A sense that something's missing. Something vital. And you can't quite name it. You just know that the person living your life doesn't feel like you anymore. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." That's because most of us are taught to perform, not to be. We're trained to fit in, to succeed, to be liked. But rarely are we taught how to stay connected to who we really are. You might have everything you thought you wanted. The job, the relationship, the apartment. But if it doesn't feel like you, it won't feel like home. And that's the ache you carry, the ache of living a life that looks right but feels wrong. Sometimes you catch glimpses of your real self, in a song that hits too hard, in a memory that makes your chest tighten, in a moment of silence when the mask slips, and for a second you remember who you were before the world told you who to be. But then the moment passes. You go back to the script, back to the role. Because it's easier, safer, familiar. And the drift continues. You start to feel like a background character in your own story. You're there but not really. You're present but not alive. You're doing everything right but it doesn't feel right. And that's the silent tragedy so many people live through. You might even feel guilty for feeling this way. You tell yourself you should be grateful, that others have it worse, that you're lucky. But gratitude doesn't erase disconnection. It doesn't fix the feeling of being lost inside your own skin. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding how you got here. Because once you see the drift, you can start to turn around. You can start to ask the questions that matter. Who am I beneath all this? What do I actually want? What have I been silencing? Notice the numbness. Notice the dissonance. Notice the way your body reacts when you're pretending. That tension in your chest, that tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, that craving for something you can't name. You're not alone in this. So many people are walking around with this quiet sadness, smiling, functioning, but feeling like ghosts in their own stories. And the first step to waking up is noticing. The moment you begin to notice, something shifts. You start to feel the edges of your real self again, the part of you that's been waiting. Watching, hoping you'd come back. And that part is still there, still alive, still ready. This video isn't just a mirror. It's a doorway, a chance to step back into your own life, to stop drifting, to start choosing. And if this is stirring something in you, stay with it. We're going deeper, but before we do, take a second to subscribe to the channel. Soul of Phoenix is here to guide you through the fog, one truth at a time. If you're on a journey to reconnect with yourself, this space is for you. Every video is crafted to help you remember who you are and who you were never meant to be. Now let's keep going. Because once you notice the drift, the next question is, Who have you become while trying to survive? Chapter 2. The Inner Split. Who you are versus who you perform. There's a version of you that shows up every day. The one that knows how to smile, how to answer emails, how to keep things together. That version is polished, capable, functional. But it's not the whole story. Beneath that surface, there's another you. The one that feels too much. The one that questions everything. The one that remembers dreams you've stopped chasing. And the tension between these two selves, the one you perform and the one you suppress, is where the ache lives. You didn't choose this split on purpose. It was survival. You learned early on what parts of you were acceptable and what parts were too much, too emotional, too intense, too different. So you edited yourself. You became what was needed, what was praised, what was safe, and it worked. You fit in. You succeeded. You avoided conflict. But the cost was high, because every time you silenced your truth, you built a wall between your life and your soul. Now you're living behind that wall. You go through the motions, but it feels like acting. You say the right things, but they don't feel real. You're surrounded by people, but you feel alone, because no one really sees you. They only see the version you've curated. This is the inner split. The quiet war between authenticity and adaptation, and it's exhausting. You're constantly managing impressions, adjusting your tone, calculating what's appropriate. You're not just living, you're performing. And the longer you perform, the harder it becomes to remember who you really are. Sometimes the real you tries to break through, in moments of vulnerability, in bursts of creativity, in sudden tears you can't explain. But you push it back down. You tell yourself it's not the right time, not the right place, not the right version of you, but that version, the raw, unfiltered, emotional one, isn't wrong. It's real, and it's tired of being hidden. You might feel like you're two people, the one the world sees and the one you see in rare, quiet moments, and the gap between them is growing. That's why you feel disconnected. That's why you feel like a stranger in your own life. Because the life you're living was built for someone else. You've become fluent in pretending. You know how to be fine. You know how to deflect. You know how to keep things light. But inside there's a storm, a longing, a grief for the self you abandoned to survive. And here's the truth. You don't have to keep performing. You don't have to keep choosing the version of you that pleases others but drains you. You can begin to close the gap. Slowly, gently, by listening to the parts of you that you've ignored. Start by noticing when you feel most alive. What conversations light you up? What spaces feel safe? What moments make you forget to perform? These are clues. They point to the real you, the one that's been waiting. You don't have to tear down the mask all at once. You can start with small rebellions, saying no when you mean no. Speaking up when something matters, letting yourself feel without apologizing. These tiny acts of truth begin to stitch you back together. And yes, it's scary. Being real always is. You risk rejection. You risk discomfort. You risk change. But you also open the door to connection, to meaning, to a life that feels like yours again. The inner split doesn't heal overnight. It's a process, a return, a remembering. But every time you choose authenticity over performance, you take a step closer to yourself, and that's where healing begins. You're not too much. You're not broken. You're just buried beneath layers of survival. And now you're ready to dig. Let's keep going. Because once you begin to reclaim your truth, the next step is learning how to rebuild your life around it. Chapter 3. The Return, Reclaiming Your Life from the Inside Out. You've spent years performing, adapting, surviving. Now something inside you is stirring, a quiet urge to come home to yourself. Not the self you show the world, but the one you've buried beneath expectations, roles, and routines. This is the return, and it begins not with a dramatic leap but with a single decision: to stop abandoning yourself. You don't need to reinvent your entire life overnight. You just need to start choosing differently. Choosing what feels real, what feels alive, what feels like you. That might mean saying no to things you used to tolerate. It might mean walking away from roles you've outgrown. It might mean letting go of people who only know the version of you that performs. Reconnection starts in the quiet. In the way you speak to yourself when no one's listening. In the way you show up for your own emotions. In the way you stop apologizing for your truth. You've spent so long editing yourself to be palatable, predictable, pleasing, but now you're learning to be honest. That honesty might feel raw at first. You'll notice how often you've said yes when you meant no, how often you've smiled through discomfort, how often you've ignored the voice inside that whispered, "This isn't it." That voice is your compass. It's soft but it's steady, and it's been waiting for you to trust it. Start small. Let yourself feel without judgment. That means letting the sadness rise without rushing to fix it. Letting the anger speak without silencing it. Letting the joy expand without shrinking it down. These emotions are messengers. They're not problems. They're proof that you're alive. You'll begin to notice what lights you up, what conversations energize you, what spaces feel safe, what moments make you forget to perform. These are clues. They point to the real you, the one that's been waiting beneath the surface. Rebuilding your life means making space for those clues. It means creating rituals that nourish you, journaling without filters, walking without a destination, creating without needing it to be perfect. It means choosing solitude not as escape but as communion. You'll feel resistance from others, from within. That's normal. You're rewriting a story that's been running for years. But every time you choose alignment over approval, you strengthen your foundation. You stop outsourcing your worth. You stop performing. You start living. And yes, people might notice the shift. They might ask why you're different, why you're quieter, or louder, or more honest. That's okay. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be true to yourself. You'll lose some things, comfort, approval, familiarity, but you'll gain something far more valuable. Integrity, congruence, peace. The kind that comes from knowing your inner world matches your outer one. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to someone ancient, someone you were before the world told you who to be. That version of you still exists, still remembers, still wants to be seen. Let yourself be seen, not just by others, but by you. Look in the mirror and ask, what part of me have I been hiding? Then let that part speak. Let it guide you. Let it shape your choices. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need presence. You need honesty. You need to stop betraying yourself for comfort. Because real comfort comes from congruence, from knowing that your inner world matches your outer one. You'll still have days when you drift, when the old patterns whisper, when the mask feels tempting. That's okay. You're human. But now you know the way back. You know how to pause, how to listen, how to choose yourself again. And every time you do, you reclaim a piece of your life, a piece of your soul, a piece of the story that was always meant to be yours. This is the beginning, not of a new chapter, but of the real one. The one where you stop watching your life from the outside and start living it from the inside. Welcome back.